Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another market trading recap today for the day of June 3rd. So I'm about to do June 4th today. We did take a loss today, but I wanted to stick to these recaps and summarize yesterday's win because it was absolutely insane. I went ahead and closed a trade yesterday on Meta puts, as you guys can see right in front of me, for a total net profit of 3.3K in less than 21 minutes. Here's the trade log. 3.3K for a total of 98% return with a net investment of 6.4K at entry. And the buys and sells entered at 11:41 a.m. to exit at 12:04. So a little over 21 minutes and $3,000 in profit. So it was a really big return. Of course, the number, right? This is what I want to bring you guys back to reality, bro. Like the number, it's phenomenal. It's nice. It's great. It's a dream, right? To be able to make $3,000 in 20 minutes. Yes, trust me. That's what gets all of you guys to watch these videos. That's what gets all of you guys wanting to learn how to trade. But bro, if you have money or don't have money, it doesn't matter how bad you want to achieve that if you're not taking the time to learn what it is you're doing. And even through that time of learning what it is you're doing, you'll get better, but you'll still make mistakes. And when you make those mistakes, sometimes they come with a financial loss. That's the aspect of this. It's money to make money, or money, and it's going to lose you money. And you got to manage risk. It's a part of this trade, this career, this income opportunity, right? And I share this with you guys because I notice how the world is taking a bit of a turn towards more of an instant gratification, more of a very material, money-driven society. And by no means, it's normal. Look at the cost of living. It's absolutely insane. Money is what is really ruling a lot of people's lives. So many people are exchanging countless hours of their life because they have to work, not because they want to work, And this is a big component of life. Yes, money. But don't let these videos, don't let other influencers, other traders, the other YouTubers, other whatever it may be, really push this idea of getting rich quick. Yes, I made $3,000 in 20 minutes, but I've also lost $6,000 in 1 hour, 5.6K in 3 hours. All the losses are here on my YouTube channel. I've experienced both sides, and in my successes and my wins, I've learned, and when I've lost, I've learned. The main thing that's able to allow me to generate this much profit, it's my knowledge, it's my experience. And I want you guys to take a genuine appreciation for that in your guys' life, in your guys' trading journey. That's so important. Build the experience, build the knowledge, value that over the money. Why? Because with that experience and that knowledge, then comes the money. And I really do this because I want to be not realistic, because realistic is subjective to everyone's reality, but I want to be blunt. I want to be straightforward. It's not a get rich quick. It's a lot of risk to be able to create this type of capital, specifically in day trading. Option trading, let me go ahead and jump back to just basics real quick. So trading is a form of investing. It's very not dependent, it's very high risk, but it's dependent specifically on option trades. How much time you have in a trade, that determines the risk. How much data do you have in a trade, that determines the risk. And that's something I'm going to cover on my next video, where I go over trading is not gambling, and I can prove it. That's the title of the video. And to kind of give you guys, I've given this example before, but back in August 7th, 2025, Trump announced a $110 billion investment into Apple for domestic production. Since then, the stock has done over 30%. And in the second day of that announcement, it did over 15% in a single day. This is information leading to a trade or investment being data-driven, not guessing. And I share this with you guys because due to certain pieces of data or certain pieces of news, that's how you gauge the risk on how far out you want to go on a trade. Therefore, kind of reducing the risk or increasing the risk. This specific trade, it was on a 0-day expiration what most commonly you guys know as a day trade. Let's clarify what that is. A day trade is an option trade that is placed between 6:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? So this trade specifically was extremely high risk, and that's why I was able to leave with the return that I left with, because it was 0-day expiration and very, very volatile. But I'm gonna go ahead and break down to you guys how I was able to minimize risk with my setup, with my technical analysis, and with my capital exposure. I'm gonna show you guys how it is I go about it, how I did it, to hopefully help you guys. So let's go ahead and break down this trade. At the beginning of market, I noticed Meta had this aggressive buy, right? She got oversold yesterday from 608 down to 600. I know Meta, at this level, a 600, it takes a nuke to bring this thing lower than that. Every time it hits 600, up, up, up. Look at all these hits off of 600. Let's go ahead and clear the after hours so you guys can see regular trading hours. And then I'll show you guys the points of support. Now, don't, get me wrong. There is a huge outlier here that happened back in April 26th, mainly driven because of the war. But prior to all that, at this 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up. Of course, it broke down due to the war. Most recently, 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up. 600 level, took up, 600 level, took up. There's a key level of support on Meta at $600 a share, right? So when I noticed this, going back to the 1 minute chart, and I noticed this level of support be respected overnight, I wanted to take calls. I truly did, because I had an almost intuitive, borderline gut feeling. Of course, like, everything when you take a trade has to be your feeling, has to be emotionally, kind of intuitively, also data backed, driven, of course. But when you take trades like that, that's what's making it a quality trade. You're looking at technical analysis, you're looking at data driven, you're looking at potentially how buying is reacting at these key levels, doing your research before entering, right? That's important. That's extremely important when it comes to the confidence in your trade. And that's really what makes or breaks traders, their confidence. When you have to hold a position for profit, when you have to manage risk when you're in drawdown, how confident are you in that position? And gathering data, being aware of key levels, doing technical analysis, building familiarity with one specific company, maybe looking at the charts, maybe looking at its price range for 2 weeks straight. Just watch, just look at it, build some time. Yo, Meta's at 600 today. You know what that kind of means because you've been watching it for the last 2-3 weeks, a month. You're familiar. And I highlight this with you guys because it's important. A lot of people struggle in the stock market because it's unfamiliar. They're busy. Day-to-day life, kids, work, family, hobbies, school. They're not always on the stock market 24/7. And when they do hop on it, their expectations to make money are way up here. And their, familiarity, their understanding, their, I would say, awareness, really, of the market's conditions, the awareness of the economic situation, awareness of the geopolitical, situation, awareness of the political situation, awareness of the oil prices, gold prices, silver prices, crypto prices. So many different markets, housing markets, bond markets. They all impact how the stock market moves. It's a blend of multiple factors that make this recipe that we know and actively trade, which is the stock market. So, build familiarity. The reason I knew that Meta was going to take off at 600 was because I've been watching it for the last, 8 months. So, when I wanted to take my initial position, I wanted calls. I woke up a little bit late. Happens, Took off immediately at market open from a wick low of 684.84 to a high of 619. But look at what happened at this 619 level for quite a few times. It rejected, right? Meaning that, buying was aggressive, but not too aggressive. So I waited. I watched this. I didn't trade this range at all. A range is a price where you have a high and you have a low. I didn't trade this range. I never took a single trade on this range, especially because I'm on a cash account. I don't get no capital back until the following day. So I had to make a count. Meta began to stick out to me. She drew down from 620 all the way down to 615, right? 1022 with a start of 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. to 1022, in 22 minutes, she dropped from 620 to 615, almost $5 total. After that, she got bought up. Look at this. From 615.50 all the way to a high of 623.19 at 10:19 a.m. to 11 a.m. So what is that? Like 41 minutes? Gained over what? 5 to 21? Is that like 15 to 21? That's like what? $6 in share value in less than 40 minutes. That's an aggressive buy. Look at that aggressive buy candle. It looks kind of normal and small from this angle, but when you really stretch out, look at the quality of these candles. Straight aggressive, pushes up. But I noticed I had the annotations here already, the illustrations. I'll do them again. At 623.50, look at what happened. Price rejected down from 623.50 all the way down to 620. So I know we have a key level of support now at 620, meaning that when we hit 620, we bounced up. That's your support. At resistance, look, once again, 623.50, push down. 623.50, push down. Not 623 exactly, 623.30, but look, a push down. Wicked it, push down. 623.50. For the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th time was going to be tested. Hey, I broke down this trade based on this 623 level resistance, but look at this just a little bit deeper. Remember that gym example? I tell it to all my beginners, man. When you're doing big weight at the gym and you're fresh start, you could do a lot of reps. You could push that weight off you, right? Sellers are the weight in this example. So buyers are pushing sellers off, pushing sellers off, pushing sellers off. So look at the start of Meta. Look at how aggressive these buys are. All the buying volume, the money needed to push share price up this high. Initial push, right? Boom, 602, 618. Another push. Boom, 614, 619. Sold off again. Boom, another one. 614, 618. Boom, another one. 612, 619. Boom, another rep. Boom, 622 to 615. And then another one. Boom, 620 up to 623. Look at the buyers. Aggressive, out the pen, bro. They never slow down for the vast majority of the day. But at some point, sellers are going to step in. At some point, these buyers are going to exhaust. That's what happens for the most part, right? When I seen her begin to reject, I was gathering kind of a little bit of proof in this resistance level. You can see it. Well, let's put that back. You can see the resistance. So, hell yeah, I had $3,300, $3,300 behind a single trade with a 0-day expiration, 11:41, right? An exit at 12:04. The market on a cash account closes your trades at 12:30 early if you don't have a $25,000 portfolio balance. So I was at 11:41 with now at 12:04 less than 16 minutes left in the market to figure out what I was going to do with this trade. And I was looking to capitalize on this resistance, this last minute trade. Theta on these contracts was so aggressive. For those of you guys that don't know what theta is, I highly recommend looking into it if you're going to get into options, especially short time frame options or longer term options. It's a very important concept I recommend you guys touch up on. I will be making a video on theta soon to help you guys understand how I break it down to my students and beginners. But this was the highest risk I could have possibly taken on this trade. I entered here at the top of this resistance, 623.66 with $3.3 thousand. And now, once in the position, it began. So, once it was right here, I was negative. No, positive. Over here, like 150 bucks. Positive over here, maybe 260, $700, 1,500, 2,500, and then all the way up with theta. Look, with theta, I was right here back at negative $1,200 because of the decay of these contracts' value as they approach expiration. And when I was negative 1,200, what made me stay in this trade, right? Because this could go south immediately. This could have went south and I could have lost $1,800. So at this resistance, look at this establish. At 622, 622.83, 622, look at what happens. Wick down, wick down, wick down, wick down. So I am in this trade minus $1,500. And then these wicks, these resistance, they held and then boom, rejected heavy. And look at the support. Hit up, hit up, hit up, hit up. Once I see the support established, I knew at this area, I had to get out. I couldn't be too greedy. I had to just take my profits. And once she went ahead and broke that support ever so slightly and gave me this candle right here, I was out. I closed the position. I think that we broke the support. Because look at the support. If I line it, look at those. Look at what happened. Key level came up, came up, came up, came up. I had to get out of this. That's how I managed taking profits. I wasn't going to wait until this line, which would technically be her supply, because that's the low. We hit here, came up. Hit here, came up. Hit here, came up. Look at these levels. Hold up. Hit here, came up. Around here, came up. Once you begin to see these, you have to know how to respect them. Seeing them go lower is not always going to happen. So that's how I navigated my entry and my exit based on technical analysis and understanding buying and selling pressure throughout the day. And that's how I was able to generate 3.3K in over 21 minutes. And that changes everything, you know. That type of return, I love it. It made my week, hell yeah. But guys, don't focus on the money, bro. Focus on the knowledge. Focus on the experience. Focus on the understanding. Just how I can explain this to you, you want to be able to explain this to someone else. That's when you begin to build the experience. That's when you begin to build the learning. Does this fucking work every single time? Absolutely not. You will make mistakes. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up, man. And it doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old, if you think you're smart or dumb. Just, if this is really something you're passionate about, and I really do believe it's powerful, learning how to manage your money and grow it, it's a skill set that schools didn't teach us for a reason. And I do understand how powerful it is to have this knowledge, the amount of people you can help with this knowledge. You know, SoCal Trading Group's at over 106 members right now. And the result I've been able to do for people, the education I've been able to provide and see their lives change, see them begin to help others, see them begin to inform others that the stock market exists, that it's a vehicle you can use to grow your money, priceless. This life is about helping others and making life better, easier for the rest of the world, right? And I truly do believe that if you mature correctly and you're learning how to navigate your income, investing, trading, it's going to be something that you'll never exchange for anything. And the price of this learning, sure, if you're going to go down the I'm learning myself route, might cost you a lot. But invest in education, invest in that as much knowledge as you possibly can. Whether you grind YouTube, make sure you're digesting this information correctly. You're researching the right markets to trade, the right assets to trade. I see people confusing option trades with futures trades sometimes. They're completely two different monsters, you know? But, man, focus on the knowledge. Be patient with yourself. Understand that you're building something new, and more importantly, build the familiarity. A lot of people want to jump into this and make a crap ton of money, but they don't look at the market every single day. They look at the market once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. You have to put in effort. You have to see this every single day to get the result. There's no cheating it. But I hope this video is able to help you guys as much as, it helped maybe so many others. The return on this trade was amazing, but you become numb to the money, man. It doesn't make you, sure, it's great, don't get me wrong. I thank God for this money, but once you see what other people make, once you see the possibilities and you begin to realize how much the banks are making, how much the people that are depositing their checkings into their checkings account, how much money they're giving to the banks to trade and invest with, man, the returns, absolutely insane. So don't fantasize over the money. Don't fall in love with the money. Fall in love with the trade. Fall in love with the knowledge, the skill set. It's worth 10 times more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoy this content and want to see more, leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to work with me and my team personally, give me a call at 909-695-6336, and I'd love to work with as many of you guys as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Jerry Trades, the SoCal Trading Group, over and out.